Yes, sister, we will one day do a Little Nightmares playthrough.
I did really like it.
Don't like the wait. Talk to the guy waiting for the Yoshi's Woolly World playthrough, all right?
Poor guy. I'm sorry. We will get to all of it.
Yeah. All right, we're back with some more of Super Mario Sunshine. In the last episode, we took down King Boo. Let's see what other shine sprites we can get in this sad time here at Nintendo.
What?
So at the time of this recording, Charles Martinet has officially retired from being the voice of Mario.
Yeah.
Oh, since 1994, I believe, he was the voice of Mario. But what's even weirder is that, like, they seem to have, like, a voice replica doing the voice now. It's not like they're doing a new direction like they do with Sonic.
Right.
Like, Sonic has frequently had, like, different voices,
right.
different voice actors. Whereas before Charles Martinet, there was Bob Hoskins and Lou Albano, I believe? Louis Albano did... Hey, paisanos, it's time for the Super Mario Brothers Super Show!
Okay.
And Bob Hoskins from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, he did Mario in the live-action Super Mario Brothers movie.
I did know that.
Yeah. And he hated the material so much he showed up drunk. Just to get it done. So, yeah. But the new game, Super Mario Wonder, that is not Charles Martinet. It's been confirmed.
Yeah. I think, like, what we were talking about, though, like, it's such a popular voice that so many people are able to replicate it.
It's like Bugs
pretty
Bunny
well,
and
yeah.
Mickey Mouse.
Like, so many people can do the Mario voice that I think... Well, what I hope is that the viewer won't even know the difference.
Yeah. Well,
so
to be fair,
unless
we
you're...
didn't catch it. Like,
yeah.
We saw the Mario Wonder trailer and, like... there was something like slightly off, but I just thought like, hey, Charles is getting older.
But
so we'll see. But I'm also curious, the guy doing Mario now, is he also doing Luigi, Wario?
Yeah.
Waluigi. Like Charles Martinet did like all of those voices. Or are they going to get someone that sounds like Mario and someone else who sounds like Luigi and so on and so forth?
Right.
I'm curious. Like, this guy that does Mario, can he do the others as well? We shall see.
Yeah.
Tune in for Super Mario Wonder, which is a game I'm obviously going to play. Obviously going to buy. I mean, it has playable Daisy. What's not to love? And you can turn into an elephant. And
that
it's multiplayer.
I think is gonna be fun, yeah.
So that means you get to play too.
Woo! Hooray!
One day we're going to do multiplayer games. For now, we're just going to continue our Mario Kart.
We've done 2 so far. Well, 3, including Mario Kart.
Okay. We did World of Illusion.
Yeah.
We did Mario Kart.
Yeah.
What am I missing?
Magic Cat Academy.
Oh, yeah. We technically did do Magic. Well, that we kind of recorded at the same time, but it wasn't really co-op or multiplayer.
Yeah.
I forgot about Magic Cat Academy.
Love Magic Cat Academy. I really hope they do it again this year.
Good times, good times. Yeah, we need a Magic Cat Academy 3. I'm trying to spray that golden bird because I think just like the one on Delfino Plaza, it becomes a shine sprite.
Mario's like, oh, I forgot my parachute.
You need a parachute. Got it. Not a pair of shoes, parachute.
Not a parakeet, a para...
It also reminds me of, I think it's Banjo-Kazooie. There was a commercial of, you need a parachute, that's a backpack! And he's like, don't worry. And it doesn't open up, he's like, Kazooie? Because in the game, Kazooie's the bird in the backpack, and he flies for him.
Okay.
She flies for him, I'm sorry, Kazooie's a girl. But I guess in Banjo-Tooie, they get separated. Or wait, now I'm remembering. You have an ability that allows you to separate the two. So Banjo can do some of the areas that only he can do, and Kazooie can do the areas that only she can do.
Yeah.
So in the commercial, it's just like, don't worry, I got Kazooie. And he jumps out the plane and he's just like, Kazooie? Where are you?
It's cute.
Banjo-Tooie. And it was, so in the 90s, it was a guy in a suit. So, like, it wasn't just, like, an animation of, like, Banjo. It was a guy in a Banjo suit. Like, another very popular one were the Crash Bandicoot commercials. It was a guy in a Crash Bandicoot costume, and he goes outside the building of Nintendo being like, hey, come on, plumber, I'm here, I got your number, I'm getting your money, come on. Just, like, shit-talking Nintendo, and, like,
It's funny.
that worked. That was the marketing that got Crash Bandicoot to be a big name at the time.
Yeah, I didn't see any of those commercials. I also didn't have cable, so.
Ah, well, there you go. Yeah, they were plentiful. There was all kinds of mascots trying to take Mario's crown. And years later, Mario is still king, baby. Oh, Goopa Bloopa decided to go here.
Pull
Goopa
your
Blooper's like,
your legs off. There you
Goopa
go.
Blooper's like, leave me alone. I relocated. I'm just trying to repopulate my species. Stop. You kicked me out of the harbor? I'm not even polluting here. Leave me alone.
Mario's like, never.
Goopa Bloopa, you'll pay for this.
I feel like he's ripping these legs off like I'm going to cook this up later in a nice stew with some rigatoni.
Gonna have this with my spaghetti, and my noodles,
Oh, seafood spaghetti.
or my seafood noodles, yes.
Oh my gosh. So I follow a lot of like homesteading channels, like cooking on the Facebooks.
The Books of Faces.
Yeah, the Books of Faces. And
It's better than Twitter, now called X.
I was so confused because for work I do all of like our social media. And so I unfortunately have to have Twitter on my phone.
Yeah.
And I just like opened up my phone and I saw this random app that was like a black X, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I Googled it because I didn't want to open it in case it was some sort of weird virus. And I was like, oh yeah, Twitter is now X. And I'm like, this is so dumb.
Just keeps getting worse and worse.
But anywho, I was watching this video of a man and his daughter that like makes all kinds of seafood dishes, and it's just really interesting to watch. And the one dish that he was making had octopus in it.
Okay.
And I was looking through the comments mainly because when he's making the broth, he adds a cork. And I was like, why? What does the cork do? So I was looking to see if anybody like answered what the cork is for. And there was a commenter that was like, how could you hurt these innocent animals? Just go to the store and get your meat there. It's like, are you that dumb?
Oh boy.
Is this where we're at now? Like,
Hopefully they're trolling.
what they didn't know is the animals at the store have all committed violent crimes. Like, I was just like, are you kidding right now? But it was like, that was the only negative comment, and everyone just left it alone. And I was like, I belong here. Like, someone asked a question that was just really stupid.
And nobody.
And nobody, like, was going after them or starting fights. And I was like, yep.
This is my turf.
Yeah.
So were you reminded of that when we popped the cork out of Gooper Blooper's mouth?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that and he has tentacles. And that was, like, what they were cooking.
Okay.
All
right, so this guy is giving us our diver suit, and we're going to practice with this magic bottle. We're going to practice the diving controls.
Mario's going, I'm a genie in a bottle.
Because we're going deep under the sea. And we gotta collect red coins in this little jar. First, get a jar. So yeah, you have infinite water down here, obviously, because it just fills up. But you have an air meter, and it's gonna gradually deplete. So what you gotta do is collect coins to fill it back up. and
Oh,
the way
so
to...
coins is what fills your meter.
Yep, fills your air meter. So if you run low on air, just grab some coins.
Any coins or just the red ones?
Any coins.
Okay.
The red ones, I think, fill it up completely. Whereas if you... Ah, shit, I missed. If you get the gold coins, it'll, like, fill up, like, one slot.
Yeah.
There we go. Already got 6. Just watch out for the big fish. They'll grab you.
See, I feel like that's the type of life meter that I would be okay with.
I wonder how you feel about first-person shooter games' health. So the way most first-person shooter games works is you get hit, your screen will flash.
Yeah.
But if you stay out of the line of fire, you recover. And that's how it works. However, if you get hit and it flashes and you keep getting hit, eventually
Then you're
you die.
gonna die, yeah.
But there's a cool-off period for your health. So you don't have a health meter, it's danger, danger, danger. If you get hit again, you're dead. Oh, you're fine.
I mean, I think I would like that theoretically, but I'm not exactly a first-person shooter fan, I guess.
I don't know if you've played a single first-person shooter yet.
I have not.
Because I don't have that many. Because
for writing,
it's not my dig either.
Yeah. But for writing for Call of Duty, I've watched plenty of videos, and I'm just meh. I think that type of game just doesn't appeal to me in the first
one
place.
that amuses me, appeals to me, amuses me, either or. The Turok games, because you're hunting dinosaurs, which is really cool. That's a sucker for me. And the Doom games. The Doom games look really cool.
Yeah. I feel like Doom is infamous in its spot in history for what it did. I don't know that I'd like to play it. I think,
okay.
Personally. I'm down to watch any game to try it, but
okay, that's fair.
Playing it, I just have very little interest. And
is it because of all the shooting, or is it the theme, or
I don't know if it is the violence.
Oh,
maybe.
Okay.
And not I mean, you can watch the other video we did where we went on that whole spiel of violence in video games. But it just doesn't appeal to me.
Okay.
I don't get anything from it. Whereas I feel like if it was something first-person shooter style that wasn't necessarily violent, I might enjoy it more. Like
Metroid Primed, where, there's a bit of violence, but it's more about exploration, survival.
That, or even
And people do not like when Metroid Prime is called a first-person shooter. I'm like, why not? You're in the first person and you're shooting. No, it's more of an adventure game. Oh, well, that explains why I actually like it.
Yeah.
Because you're doing more than shooting.
Yeah, I think that's the idea. Is I don't feel satisfied just shooting stuff. I want to be doing other things. And I think that's just because I get bored really easily.
Those
so
games
if I
are
was
more
just
fun with the multiplayer aspect. You can play capture the flag. It's my team versus your team.
Yeah.
Take out their team. Those can be fun, but I also know some people take those a little too seriously.
Right.
Where it's just well,
it's okay.
Fun's over for this one, Skippy.
Yeah.
So, no, I get that.
So, I can definitely see where people get joy from when it comes to first-person shooters. It's just not for me. I want to do other things, and I feel in a weird way, that is also one of my issues with platforming.
Oh, okay.
Is, because you just jump around. It's not as much, because there are other things to do in platforming.
Right.
But it's
I guess when you break it down,
I feel it's limited in what you can do.
I suppose.
Whereas, playing something like Zelda or Ys, where it's you can build things, you can jump, you can go fishing, you can create, you can do all this stuff.
Interesting.
Where it's not just you have to jump from this side to this side. Or you have to collect everything. In
that aspect, I'm kind of the opposite, to where it's jack of all trades, master of none, or to be more specific, it seems like it's biting off more than it can chew, or lack of focus for me.
Yeah.
Focus on your strengths. Sometimes especially nowadays, like all these games have to have like an open world. They have to have a crafting system. They have to have a farming. They have to have all this extra shit tacked on to appease to every type of gamer. Where if I'm just like, no, just if you narrow it down to like one or two things, I'll have a good time. All the other stuff, I'm just like, meh.
Yeah. Do you know what that full quote is, though?
Jack of all trades, master of one.
No, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one.
Oftentimes better than a master of one. Okay. Confucius says.
It was Shakespeare.
This is the real stuff coming straight from Shakespeare.
But no, and I think it is a me thing. Like, that's definitely not like, oh, science says, or like factual. Like,
oh,
nah.
right.
It's just for me, I like to have the option to switch things up because I get bored.
No, and I mean, that's very common for a lot of gamers.
Yeah.
Especially, like, newer gamers. Like, I don't want to call them casuals. Like, a gamer's a gamer.
But no, like, you're right. Casual gamers. Like, I'm not a hardcore gamer.
Mm-hmm.
I like playing games. I play them whenever I want to relax. Like,
yeah.
But I'm not, like... I'm not hardcore. I don't get aggressive or mean.
Well, you're
like,
not hardcore.
Yeah.
Unless you live hardcore.
But like,
the legend of the rent was way hardcore.
But I think too, it's also like, not everyone is super strong at certain things. So like, if you're not good at platforming, good freaking luck with a platformer, because that's all you're gonna do. But if you play like an RPG or an adventure game, yeah, there is some platforming, but if you get frustrated because you're not doing well, guess what? You can leave and go do something else to, like, readjust your mentality, because gaming is supposed to be fun.
Exactly.
So if you get frustrated doing something, you can go do something else. Yeah. Whereas, like, in a platformer, guess what? You get frustrated with that jump? Well, you got to do it to keep going.
And speaking with more casual gamers and understanding that has brought me to more of a state of understanding of like, yeah, it's just like, I don't enjoy that kind of stuff, but I can see why you do.
Yeah.
And it's more of, when I play a game, I kind of want to know what I'm in for.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, oh, this game is going to do this and focus on this. I like that. I'm going to play that. Like, when I'm playing a game, I'm like, what's it about? What's it like?
Yeah.
And you give me, like, the laydown of, like, the structure. That's more or less the structure. It can throw a curveball every once in a while to spice things up. But for the most part, I want it to stick to that structure.
Well, I think that's the case with most types of games. Like, that's why you have platforming. That's why you have first-person shooters, adventure games, RPGs. Like, if you got into a platform game and then all of a sudden you're in first-person shooter mode, like, what's going on? This isn't what that game is. But if you're doing, like, an RPG, that wouldn't necessarily be as weird. Like, I feel like RPGs and adventure games have the opportunity to mix it up a little bit because that is a part of that genre. Whereas, like, it doesn't really work and vice versa. Like, if you're going into a first-person shooter and then all of a sudden you're stuck in an overworld map, like, it'd be weird.
Maybe. Or maybe just the right developer hasn't done it yet. Because Portal is considered like a first-person puzzler.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're in first person, but you're not killing things. You're solving puzzles to get out of there.
Yeah.
And, like, it was revolutionary because it took a genre and it turned it on its head and added new elements. So I'm not here speaking like I'm the authority of what makes a game.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, games continues to surprise me. I just know my personal taste and what's easier for me to get into a game.
If it's not necessarily the genre of game, but the content.
Okay.
Sometimes as well, like, do you think people playing like Call of Duty and stuff like that, do you think that they would enjoy playing Portals? Or is it the fact that they're not in a war zone, not fighting zombies, not doing...
shooting Nazis.
Yeah, killing the Nazis, that it's no longer interesting to them.
Possible.
So it's not the act of first-person shooter, it's the content of the game.
Okay.
I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
It might. I'm curious. Let me ask you this question. Is there a genre
Sunflowers.
that you haven't seen yet, either on the show or a game I've introduced you to, that you'd like to see more of?
I enjoy puzzle games.
Okay.
But I think sometimes I struggle with certain types of puzzles.
Okay. I was just curious in regards to like taking requests for like what games to bring onto the show if we haven't done so yet, or because like I think there's a little bit of variety in the games we play, but there could definitely be more.
Yeah.
But also I don't want to bring aboard a genre where it's just like, well, I'm not feeling this. It's just like, yeah, well, I recorded 20 episodes. So.
I mean, like I said, I'm open to try any of it because, I mean, I don't like to think that I'm the type of person that if I've never seen it or experienced it, that I would go, well, I don't like it.
Right.
Okay, well, how do you know you don't like it? You've never played it. You've never experienced it.
Because, like, we got to do a horror game someday.
Yeah.
Spooky spook.
I mean, we did
jump
Alice.
Scares. Yeah, that was pseudo horror. More
Yeah.
like that was more adventure with horror elements.
And I was playing Little Nightmares.
True too. Yeah, very true.
But
Okay. Yes, sister.
I do
We
really-
will one day do a Little Nightmares playthrough.
I did really
Don't
like it.
the wait.
I just-
Talk to the guy waiting for the Yoshi's Woolly World playthrough. All right.
Poor guy. I'm sorry. We will get to all of it
Yeah.
eventually.
Eventually.
We'll be in our 90s. Time for Yoshi. And then Batman will still be sitting there like first time.
Listen, the only people that know that Batman's getting the shaft is you and me. Because there has been nothing Batman related on this channel yet. At all.
Which is wild. Like, I do
Whereas
like Batman.
Yoshi-
I promise.
At least has been featured on the channel and has been teased of like, it's a-coming.
Yeah.
It's just not here yet. That's the difference. Like, we've talked about superheroes a couple times, but like we've done nothing for Batman.
Yeah.
Will that
'cause
change? Who knows?
That was just because whenever I was picking the games, I like kept skipping over Batman, and you
And
were
I
like,
brought it up.
why do you hate Batman? And I was like, I don't hate Batman, but now, out of spite.
Ah, spite. The genuine emotion of growing up. All right. In the next episode, we're going to grab some more Shine Sprites, but we're also going to check out the deep, dark depths of Noki Bay.
Dun dun dun. Toodles.